Okay. We are live again. It's gonna be a day of live. I'm living. Oh, excuse me. Belt. Alright, let me get everything kind of adjusted here. How y'all doing? Alright, this one is titled The Astrology for December the 15th. I didn't get to those. I was going to do the 15th through the 19th all in one video, and I thought, nah, let's do it individually for everybody. Keep them separate. And like I said, everything will be in the December's playlist, okay? I'm going to keep everything separated month by month, all right? Today I'm going to be going through the 15th through the 19th. And like I said, they will be individual, bless me, gosh. Didn't expect that. That must have been Uranus. Gave me that unexpected sneeze. Excuse me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't want to blow my nose in y'all's faces or in your ears. That's so rude. That sneeze came out of nowhere. Y'all wasn't expecting that. Alright, y'all ready? This one is not going to be too long because I'm going to start off where the moon had entered into Aquarius. On the December the 15th at 12:56 Eastern Standard Time. Remember, every time I say, it's my time. Eastern Standard Time, which would be the same as New York time. Lord, what was wrong with me? Okay, let's go over to the astrology and let's see what's happening. What we have here. Like I said, this is really focused right now with the moon going into Aquarius at this time. It is still conjunct with Pluto here. It conjoined right before that as well. Let's see. 1103 is when it went into a conjunction with Pluto at 28 degrees. So it took it a little over an hour or a couple hours. Let's see, 11, 12. Yeah, 2 hours, almost 2 hours for it to move. So it was a lingering energy hanging on. And it was doing this, it was aspecting Vista in Cancer, which you've heard me talk about Vista being the spiritual keeper, or the keeper of the spiritual flame is what it is. It's about your devotion. What are you devoted to? And it's retrograde. Pluto is direct, so it's moving forward. It's going to be moving into, let me give you the exact day here. There's something I'm going to have to work on here. I'm going to have to move something around. Come on. Oh, I keep forgetting I got to change the cursor thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. So then I have to change here. Uranus is what I was looking at. No, Pluto. Sorry. I got lost there for a minute. All right. Hey, I did it that time. Before I used to have to um kind of refresh it before it would show it, but it's showing it now, so that's great. Um, we've got is going to move into Aquarius on January the 20th. That it'll move, and that will be my time, 7:56, almost 8 o'clock at night. It will move into Aquarius, and it'll transit to 2 degrees in Aquarius. Then in September, so we got quite a while that Uranus is going to set into in Aquarius when it will go retrograde, and then on September the 1st, which is a very important day for me. I'll always remember this day. Not only is my birthday in September, but this date was very important to me. It was the day that my life really changed, got altered, and so that was kind of your that Pluto did its number on my life. All right, so put me through hell. Uranus can put you through hell to wake you up, make you become aware of something. So it'll sit there until September the 1st, when it will move back into Capricorn, and it will only go, and that's only going to be there a very short period of time, just a month and a few days, and then it's going to go direct, and then by November, it's going to move back into Aquarius, where it is going to be for the next 20 years. So get ready, get prepared. This is what I can say. So I just wanted to touch on that for a minute. All right, what do we got now? Now we have with this moon that has moved into Aquarius, and it is quincunxing Vista, which is that spiritual, the keeper of the spiritual flame. What you aspire to, what your plans are, what are you devoted to, whether it be a person, a place, or thing. Where is it you're going to set your dedication to? The ascending at this time on the 15th was in Aries. Now, you'll see me changing the chart as the ascendant changes. I will bring it back. Because what is the ascending? The ascending is right there on the line of the horizon. And every time the ascending moves, it takes it about probably almost close to 2 hours to go through a sign. And once it goes and it hits the new one, this sign's going to move up. But me, I have to manually do it because I'm not letting it just run. All right? So you'll see me move when the ascending moves. So then we also have where, with this quincunx, is talking about adjustment. The moon, something of a transformation emotionally. So something is changing within us emotionally on this day when that moon came into conjunction. A lot of 28 is a number of cycles coming to a closure, and we know Pluto's going to come to that closure. It's going to finish up. It's going to move into Aquarius, and it's going to go back toward the later end of next year. And it's going to go to 2 degrees, like I said, and it's going to do some things there, and the moon's going to go through there in its cycles every month, right? It's going to move through there during its new moon and full moon. So it's going to be changing. Our emotions are going to be definitely changing. And our cycles are going to change in life. Our life's going to be changed now. It's going to be something different for the next 20 years. By the end of 2024, you might as well plan before the year's over with next year that this is the way we're going to go. Door's going to be opening. This is humanity and the way it's going to be. Some people will be put through hell. You know, karma. What can I say? So we got to make, with that quincunx of that conjunction with the moon and moving into Aquarius now, it's kind of like maybe it was time to start expressing what you feel and having the courage to look at what you might have been devoted to, and now that devotion may change. Now, why am I saying that? Because number one, Mercury is sitting here retrograde, and the midheaven was here. It was here. Now it's over here in Capricorn. So something here is changing. We're moving into this area where our philosophies, our beliefs, or our faith in something is changing. We are going to talk about the Mercury, and I think they say it's the Mercury Conzini. That's when it comes in with the sun. It's going to move as this Mercury goes back toward the sun. It's going to pass in front of the sun. So I feel, this is my personal feeling, is that our thoughts in reassessing something about our philosophies and beliefs and all this, and it's going to be right at 0 degrees as Mercury is going back into Sagittarius, and the sun is going to be going into Capricorn, and we start Capricorn energy. At that point, it will be the longest and the darkest time of the year. Okay? The changing of the season. It will be the darkest day of the year. But I feel that our thoughts and our thinking, there's going to be some enlightenment here. And I say that mainly because of the sun, which is in a square to Neptune here. And that's going to get very, very strong. Because I'm trying to warn you, what's going to be coming is a lot of powerful energy. I mean, you're going to feel like you're being hit left and right in a boxing match here. Or you're gonna have something, 1 minute things might be going smooth, the next minute it seems like all hell breaks loose. So I think we all, and I feel we all are going to be tested. Kind of before that Aquarius gets in there, we're going to get maybe a taste of it. We do have a trine from Saturn. You're going to have to put the effort in here. We're talking about Saturn being in Pisces and Vista right now at this point being in Cancer, cardinal and mutable, being able to adapt in some way because Venus being in Scorpio is in a detriment. And when I say a detriment, that means that her home is here. It's either here in Taurus or it's over here in Libra. And so when she's not in her home place, she feels this longing for home. She's not expressing herself what she really feels, the love that's in her. She's keeping things hidden. Her sexuality and maybe what's in her heart. She's not expressing it. She's not letting it be known. She's devoting herself in some way to keeping silent. Because when she's in Taurus, she's exhausted. And Libra, she's just the ruler of Libra. She wants balance. She wants fairness. And she's come to there. And if I'm not mistaken, no, I want to say she was in a, I think she was, one of them, the moon or she was in a fall. So it's been a hard time on her going through Libra and going through, she may have felt things were unfair or that she was treated unfairly. And so now she's just remaining silent. She's focusing on redevoting herself to nurturing herself now. And what it is that she wants that here in the future she may devote herself to. Because there's an opposition at this time as the moon moves into Aquarius. There is an opposition to the midheaven and a square to the ascending. When I say opposition, in this, with this devotion, she's devoting time to herself. Like I said, she's not aspecting anything right now. She's just remaining silent, secretive, hidden, nurturing herself at this time. But what was devoted, she may be looking at, okay, it's time to look at my future and see where I'm going to, maybe what I was once spiritually devoted to, I'm no longer. Like, let's say there was somebody who loved someone so deeply, okay? And they were so spiritually devoted to them, wanted the best for them, wanted everything good. And then say they got done wrong, okay? They got hurt real bad and abandoned, okay? Now all of a sudden that spiritual devotion, there's an opposition to it. And she's going to have to rethink, because Mercury going retrograde, rethink her future. What is she going to devote herself to? Her own healing? Or has she gone through the healing? But now she needs to look to the future. Where's she going to set her plans? Same thing with the masculine energy. If he left someone that he really loved, but he was denying it, of how he felt. So now is the time, with Saturn being direct as well, to look and see where you want to devote something to. You know, dealing with karma. Saturn's dealing with karma. Where maybe people went outside the bounds of society and the rules and regulations. And we know that's been happening. Just watch the daggum news. And we all know that's been going on. And that might be a year of, people may be paying for that karma now for about 2.5 years, because Saturn is, like I said, 1 degree now. It's starting to move forward. It went to its retrograde. It came into Pisces, went to 7 degrees, went all the way back to 0. So now, all of a sudden, things may be turning around now. And karma coming back to bite a lot of people in the rear end, because they went against the rules and regulations of society. And there may be some consequences to that. And they may think spiritually they can get away with things, but that is not always the case. You can't run from karma. It'll get you every time. And the funny thing is, you never know when it's going to happen. So I'm just kind of interested when Jupiter comes into conjunction with Uranus. Will be interesting. Real interesting. See what happens. And this combined energy with Pluto in the moon here is sextiling Neptune and the ascending. Both of them. We have to put the work in and activate our minds going back to what we were once devoted to. What are we going to devote ourselves to now? That's what sextiles are. It's opportunities for success, but you have to activate your mental thinking. You have to have the mental attitude to be devoted, to put something in and activate that mind. And you got to do it for it to work. You just can't sit there it's like sitting the car it's like the engine in the car. It just sits there, right? It just sits there and idles. It's not doing anything. It's not until you start taking the action to do something here about it. And you start going backwards. You put the car in reverse and you start moving backwards. And where is it going back to? It's going back to Mars. Like, okay, now where do I want to go? Where am I motivated to take the direction forward? Because the sun in a square with Neptune is saying, hey, I'm going to enlighten you about something. Something that you thought was so glamorous. Something that was such an illusion. I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to wake you up. I'm going to let you see what you thought was so glamorous. What you thought was so fabulous an illusion. It's like that Seven of Cups. You're standing in front of it. You're in this shadow period. You don't see something, and the sun comes up and then lights the whole damn thing in front of your face. And you're like, oh my God, this wasn't real. It was all one big illusion. Why? Because the sun will burn off the fog, the haze. It's like having cataracts over your eyes and you can't see that good, and then all of a sudden the cataracts clear out and you get it taken care of, and all of a sudden everything ain't foggy no more. And you're like, damn, I see everything perfectly now. Wish I had known that before when I was driving this vehicle down the road like a bat out of hell, going toward what I was headed to. And this is right at that time, when these two come back together, Mercury and the sun, and that, what they call Mercury Cassini, okay, is where these two, the sun's going to, Mercury's going to pass right in front of the sun, and it's going to show you something here. It's going to awaken your mind. It's going to illuminate like the hangman, the sun, right there at your head, warming the brain up. Okay. Yeah, you better look at what you're doing here. You better get busy on healing something for your future. Don't be wasting your time, because things are going to start moving forward. We know that Jupiter is going to go, let's see. Bring it back. Oh, that thing's driving me crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Oh, dummy. I'm such a dummy sometimes. I just realized I didn't have the window up. What was I talking about? Jupiter. Wasn't it Jupiter? Jupiter is going to go direct on December the 30th. Okay? And it's not going, it'll be May before it moves, because Jupiter only stays in a sign for about a year. And in May the 25th, it will move into Gemini, where for a short time, it will go retrograde. I don't have 2024s up there. But it'll go retrograde in Gemini. It'll get to 21 degrees and go retrograde. Or it may move back into Taurus. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Let's go up to make that 3. Calculate it and see what it gives us. May. It'll be in Taurus It'll go into Gemini on May the 25th. It'll move to 21 degrees where it will go retrograde, and it will go back to 11 degrees in 2025. So, yeah, it's going to finish up in May of next year as far as being in Taurus. Okay? So, let's go back to the ingressions, and we'll look at that. So, we know that it's going to go, once it gets into Gemini, it'll be in Gemini for about a year. And what we know here is this thing with Saturn, it's going to be 2.5 years before it leaves. And when it does, and Neptune starts to move into Aries, Saturn will be short, not too far behind it, that it'll move into Aries too. So they'll both be into Aries by then. Okay? We'll look at that when it comes. Let's not jump ahead too far ahead. Let's focus on the here and now. That's the best thing we can do. So let's go on, and also on the 15th, with the moon being in Aquarius, it goes into that quincunx. It's sort of it's being hit with the midheaven being there as well. Might as well change this as well too. Oh, give me a minute. It won't take me but a second. Okay. We see the ascending that's sitting there in Taurus. And it has done come into conjunction with Jupiter here, and now it's in conjunction with Uranus in opposition to Venus here, opposing Venus. And oppositions are the capacity for awareness and having some objectivity. That's something here it needs to change, and it's consciously, these interpersonal planets like Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are sort of the unconscious becoming consciously aware as things happen. So with Uranus being one of those interpersonal planets that will push us beyond our limits or our expectations in some way, it's given us that capacity to be aware of something suddenly changing or something that suddenly needs to change in our life. And consciously facing of relationships with either something coming out, being illuminated to us that was hidden. Remember, I said she's kind of keeping her secrets. Wasn't speaking. On the 15th, this is like around close to 3 o'clock. So we went from 12 now, or almost 2 hours later, where now we're becoming consciously aware of something here, that something needs to give, something needs to change. And the ascending in conjunct with Uranus is also in that quincunx with Mars. Got to take some action here. Something happened. Something is now in that area. Last year we went through a lot of things with Scorpio and Taurus. I mean, it's like every time you turn around, new moon, full moon, new moon, full moon. It was always something between those two. And now it's like something coming out. Venus becoming aware of something that was an illusion and that things have got to change. And the action has to be taken now that something is you're very aware of something now. The fog has lifted, it's been burnt off, and now you have to face something, and Lord forbid that it pulls you down in the depths of depression, which it can do. Don't let it pull you there. Look at it, be conscious of it, be aware of it, know what you need to do, what actions you need to take. But also with the moon being in Aquarius, we have it in conjunction. Now, some people would say this is like a stellium when there's 3 or more, but midheaven is not a planet. It's a coordinate. So this longest day of the year here, right now, which could be the moon coming up, that we're going to start having to make some kind of decision of where we're going to devote ourselves to. Again, bringing it out, expressing something here. Now, which I did do a lot on that day, I will admit. I did talk about some things. Now, we got Mars in Sagittarius in that 8th house. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, okay? But right now, Mars is in a trine to Chiron, because something here being illuminated, that something here needs to be a healing process. But remember, when things are retrograde, you're looking back at old wounds. And how do I heal this? How do I heal that? Did you create the rooms? Did you take the car or did you take the action that really hurt somebody or hurt yourself? Sometimes we self-inflict the pain on ourselves. We hurt ourselves because we're in a cloud or illusion. Is the illusion now lifted off? That some of us are going to start to see what action we took in the past and what it caused? Because we hid things, or we kept things private, or we kept things secretive. We weren't displaying something here. We weren't admitting something that we should have been admitting all along. So now how do we heal it? Chiron's retrograde. What action do we need to take to heal something here? For our future. It's all about the future. Do we need to let go of these wounds? Again, let's see, where is my thing at? Aha, there it is. Let's change this because the ascending has changed. So we'll change that where the ascending is. Oops, back up one. And we're going to look at it in that respect of where the ascending is. Something coming up that we need to look at. We need to face something here. We got to have the courage to make the decision of what we're going to do. Are we going to express what we feel that we've been holding back, that we've been keeping secret, we've not been discussing it, about what we believe? Are we going to face something here and work it out and activate our minds? Because remember, this right here, Mercury, is also where you see it is, in the first decant and in the second term belt. Jupiter and Jupiter. Growth, expansion. Are we going to reassess where we did something here with Jupiter being retrograde? Are we going to take this time and really look back and really think with that Mercury retrograde, and what did we keep secret? That's causing us so much opposition right now in our lives. When it comes to nurturing, when it comes to getting the love or the nurturing that we need in love affairs. Are we going to be more creative? Because now, there is no illusion. It's been burnt off. It is gone. And this had occurred at 1754, which would have made that 5:54 that afternoon. Was the sun so bright that it finally just showed you something? Almost a blinding. That you have to do something here about what now you see. Because we have Mars in a square with the midheaven, which is where you want to go in life. You're at this, that's the point of the age. Remember, the sin ascending always goes between this line, the horizon, and to the next sign. And as soon as it goes here, this pops up. Means that the Cancer's up. Something here we got to become aware of. And this midheaven is going to move too. It's going to go to that line. That we have to do something here. Becoming aware of where we're going. What do we want to do career-wise, school-wise? What do we want to be when we grow up? This is a major important thing in your life right now. That you've got to take some action during this time. And what is it that you have faith and belief in? That you can put the work and that effort in. What are you going to devote something into? Because that moon is something of emotional transformation going on. Remember, Scorpio deals with death and also rebirth, regeneration. That's why sometimes in some decks, some people have death and they have rebirth on there, meaning that something within us, in ourselves, we change. Something dies off for something else to be reborn. It's almost like a baptism. You're born into sin. You're born into the world, into a natural human world through the body, right? The creation of man and woman coming together, conceiving a child, and they're born into the world. Christ says you have a second birth. And there was one Pharisee who could not comprehend that. He just did not understand that. Until Christ explained it to him that way. You're born natural into the world as a human form. Now you need to be spiritually reborn or rebirth. And that's what baptism is. You have salvation first, where you have to acknowledge that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He is our Lord and Savior, and we cannot get through God without going through the Son. Right? The Son brings the illumination of the Word of God. He is the Word of the living God. He was born here to give us the living Word. And through His death, we have an opportunity to be reborn in the Spirit. And the Spirit live within us. You understand that? So there's an opportunity now to be reborn in the Spirit. That way your intuition becomes stronger. Your faith becomes stronger. It's a wonderful thing. I mean, I've had my experiences with it, and it was just, sometimes I just have to smile and shake my head and say, what an awesome God I follow. Because I see things that I never saw before. You know, some people call it, I hear all about the spiritual, people going through spiritual growth and going through this. You cannot go through spiritual growth until you accept who died for your sins and shed their blood. Would you die for somebody? Would you go through this cruel, awful death for someone because of their sins? because that's what he did for you. That's what he did for me. And that's what he did for everybody on this earth. But people don't want to seem to recognize that. I'm telling you, my life has been utterly changed for some time now. And I had to literally go through hell to realize that. But my eyes are wide open. And I know who I am. And I know where I want to go. And I want to walk in the light. I don't want to be in the dark anymore. That's a horrible place to be. To be in a place where people keep secrets from you, they lie to you, they deceive you. I mean, I've actually faced the devil himself. Literally. And I don't want to go back there. I'm not afraid of him. I have no fear in me anymore. I have a lot of patience now. I know that. And I know good things are going to come in my life. But in the perfect divine timing. Not my timing, divine's timing. Because he will know when I'm ready. And we also got to look at Jupiter being in this sextile with the ascending. And it's also in a sextile with Saturn. Remember, these two here, Saturn and Jupiter, are our social planets, our social life, where we grow, where we expand beyond the horizon. That we're willing to learn and do and work within the bounds of society and laws and restrictions. It's okay. Sometimes, when it goes retrograde, we have to look at where we tried to bend the rules, or where things, the rules and the regulations were bent, where we tried to kind of cheated life, or we did something wrong that we got to, be held accountable for. And if you're wondering why your life's not growing and you're not getting rewarded in all these areas, think about what you're doing, what actions you're taking. All right, the next thing we have, oh shoot, I keep forgetting to change that cursor thing. The next thing we have is on this day, and this is the final thing, okay, for the 15th, because I'll end it on this. Let's see, it's in Virgo. The ascending is, I'm going to always take it to the ascending, because this is where things begin and start. Look at the Grand Trine that's sitting here. Heal thyself. We have Jupiter in a trine to Mercury, both of them being retrograde. I always say, brace the retrogrades. There are lessons to be learned here. And we've got to be aware of what's going to happen. Can't shut our eyes to it. We can't stand there in the Eight of Swords and like, oh, it's me. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I can't see my way out of this. I'm stuck. And everything's right there in front of you, but yet you care. You don't care to open your eyes and see what's before you. All you can think about is what's, I mean, how many times have I done readings and stuff, and even in the past, live readings, and is he going to come back? Is she going to come back? Blah, blah. Get your life in order and stop worrying about if someone's coming back. Heal thyself. You can't heal a relationship when you are stuck in this mental place and you can't even see the daylight for your own thinking, your own thoughts. And with Mercury being in a cardinal sign, you got to think for yourself. You got to take the control of the GPS system. Where am I going to go? What's the path I need to be on? Am I going down the right street? Make sure you update your GPS, okay? Update your mind. And that's what learning is. Updating your GPS. Getting the downloads that you need from the spirit itself. And like I said, embrace the retrogrades, because you need to go back and review where you made mistakes. And it all has to do with Jupiter. You see where this little dot is? That exactly shows you where Mercury is. The first decant. And it's going back into the third decant. And it's in the term belt of Jupiter as well. And look what it's in trine with. Jupiter. And what is Jupiter? Where is it at right there? Mercury. And where is it at in the term belt? Jupiter. Heal thyself. I'm sorry, I said Venus, didn't I? Didn't I say Venus? And where's Venus? Venus is sitting here in the second decant and in the Mercury in the term belt. Mercury's retrograde. That's why she's not talking. She's keeping things to herself. Not necessarily being secretive. She's just keeping things to herself. She's not expressing anything here. She's not talking about vengeance. She's not taking, cause I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever think about taking vengeance against somebody, you better think again. Because you'll pay for a heavy price for that. Because as the Lord says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You dishonor me, and I will make you suffer. If he did it to his own people, believe you me, he won't hesitate one moment to do it to you. But it doesn't mean he'll pull you up out of hell either. To make you learn something here. He's wiped out a whole generation. Or two. One whole generation had to go before the Hebrews could get into the land of Israel. And he will do it. He will do it. Now we're looking at, this, like I said, this grand trine here. And what is the apex here? It's the ascending. And where's ascending? In the first decant of the sun. And where is it in the term belt? Mercury. You have to activate your mind. You've got to take control of your thoughts. And learn where you made mistakes. And what you've done here in that fifth house. Be accountable with your children. Be accountable in your romantic affairs or your infatuation. If you're having an affair with someone, don't say it's all their fault. There's a lot of people out there having affairs. Take accountability for it. Have the courage. Say, yeah, I screwed up. I screwed up big time. And yeah, I'll have to pay the consequences to it. It's a difficult time we're going to be going through. And with this moon squaring Jupiter retrograde, with it being conjunct, you can see it right here. And its conjunction with Pluto. Look where it's at. It's right there in the first belt in Aquarius. Has to deal with Venus. Mercury, which it eventually will move over to Venus as well. And what is she doing? She's sitting over there being silent. She ain't saying nothing. She's just waiting for everything to be, she's waiting for an enlightenment. She's reassessing everything that is so negative in her life. Why is it nothing growing? What did I do wrong? Do I need to change some habit of mine? Do I need to think for myself, being fair and just? Did I speak the truth? What was unjust? Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Embrace where Mercury is retrograde and Jupiter is retrograde. See what was holding back the growth. I know what was holding back growth in my life. And this is where, with the ascending right here, is where this energy, you need to focus on healing yourself. Virgo is a healer. But what it's showing is the focus needs to be on where the sun is with Mars conjunct and what you need to do about your future. You need to work on healing thyself. Don't look for a relationship to heal you. That's not going to happen. Don't expect that, if I get in a relationship, everything's going to be fine and dandy. No, you just brought in a bunch of damn problems into a relationship is what you did because you're not healthy. You're not well. You might make the same daggone mistakes again. And then you'll be sitting there again wondering, why ain't nobody coming to my life? When is somebody new going to come in my life? You're the one that determines that. Not me, not any tarot reader, not any astrologer. Because if they do, you'll probably blow it because you're not working on you. And what is this really showing here is this Queen Conch that you have got to face something here. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to make some decisions. You got to make some adjustments in the self. And this involves the courage to make the decision and do what you need to do to heal yourself. Okay? Because there's coming tough days, and I'm going to be showing them to you. This is just the start of it. I wanted to start on the 15th because I wanted to show you what was right there where it was beginning. And this is where it began. Because there was no big major aspects going on before this. Nothing. I mean, look at it. We'll go back over it one more time here. Let me clear all that off so you can see. Go back over it one more time. Oh, come on, change the cursor, dummy. See? No major aspects. Again, the moon in a quincunx with Vista. No major aspects. Mars in Saturn or Sagittarius. Trine. Chiron. No major aspects. But it's kind of a warning here. Moon in Aquarius. Square in Jupiter. Bam. A grand trine. And this is just a start. Wait till y'all see what is coming next. Okay? All right, this is going to be for this day. For the next ones, I'm gonna keep doing them until I get to the 19th, and then I will go ahead and do the 20th too. If I still have the energy going, that I can keep it going, that I can give you each one of them. All right. So thank you for joining me. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you stay with me. Because, like I said, I'm going to be live doing each one up to the 19th or the 20th, okay? 20th don't look too bad. Don't look that great, but it don't look that bad either. So I might go ahead and do the 20th because it's such a short one. Because most of that we'll be dealing with during the whole time of the day. Okay? So, like I said, I appreciate you being here with me. Thank you so much. Please give the video a thumbs up and a like. Support the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe so you will get all the notifications when the live feeds come in, or when I'm doing a live feed. There'll be times that I will do, if I do, you'll be notified. I will put it out there if I'm going to do a free reading. So make sure you're subscribed so you will get that notification that you can become part of jumping in there, getting there in time, because I'll only do maybe the first 5 that come in. And but those will, if they happen, they'll be at night. More likely closer to the weekend, unless something comes up and I'm ill or something with my mom, for sure. She's first before everything, even before myself. So, but then I will be back. And so that's what I got. So, I'll be on here for the rest of the day doing the live feed. So, like I said, please give the videos a thumbs up. Share with others the links here. So they can see what's going on. You can share, the link to the video here with them, and all. And like I said, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit subscribe, where you'll get the notifications when all's going on, what's happening here. And by doing so, you are supporting me in such a big way. Big way. Bring others to the channel. That's the best way you can support me, is by bringing others into the channel. Your friends, family. Show them where they can get the help that they need with something they may be going through. Okay? And with that, I thank you all, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas if I don't get to see you or communicate with you before then. Bye for now.